channel and to a new Vlogmas video. If this is the first time that you've actually come across my channel, then thank you so much for stopping by. So today I'm going to be making some mince pies for Christmas, although of course, you know, we have to sample them first, don't we? Make sure they're not poisonous, make sure that they're safe to eat. Well, that's my excuse anyway. Yes, I'm going to make some mince pie. I'm going to tilt the camera down so that you can see exactly how I make the pastry. I haven't made the actual mincemeat itself. I just actually purchased that. I bought that from the shop. So, you know, once you've made your pastry, you can always keep it in the freezer if you want to, so that you can do, you know, whip up another batch of them should you need to. Of course, you will need to. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around now then, and I'm going to just start to weigh out all of my ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to start by using 240 grams of, this is my plain flour. Okay, so 240 grams of plain flour, that's what I'm after. So now I'm going to be adding 120 grams of, I'm just going to use this stalk margarine because that's what I've got. You can use butter or you can use half and half. Sometimes if I've got any lard, I might use half of that and half butter. It really depends, but just I use what I've got. Then what I like to do is I like to add the juice of an orange to the butter or the margarine, whatever fat you're using, and the flour. I actually don't have a whole great big orange, but I have two satsumas. I'm just going to use those. You know, use what you've got in. So I'm just going to cut through them, and then I'm just going to squeeze the juice. And it just gives it a nice kind of Christmassy flavour to it. Just holding my hand underneath so as to catch any pips should they fall out at all. But there we go. Let's get rid of this. And basically that's what you need to make this pastry. So now I'm just going to get in and start to use my fingers just so that it resembles breadcrumbs. I haven't actually made pastry this way in, maybe a good year and a half. I've tended to use my mixer to do it with, but as I've got the use of my arm again, if you're new to my channel and you haven't come across me before, I had a broken humerus which has been, I've had it repaired now. I had it repaired in October, and I'm slowly getting the use of my arm back. It's still not there completely, but I'm forcing myself to do things every day that I haven't been able to do so that I can build the muscle up again. So I'm just, as you can see, I want this to resemble fine breadcrumbs. So this is giving my arm a nice little workout as well. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Because you've got the orange juice in here, it's a little bit more moist than it would be when you use this method. You would have to add some water. You may still need to, but it would be just the tiniest amount. Because if I show you, see it's quite moist already. So although you've got your like breadcrumb consistency, it looks a little bit more clumpy because it's not so dry. Now let me see, I might be able to just bring this together without adding anything else to it.
We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time, dance, dance.
There we are. Look, I've been able to bring that together without adding anything else. I've almost got a completely clean bowl there. So there you go, look, you've got your whole mix there. That's the dough that you want. And now I'm just going to wrap that in some cling film. And this is going to go into the fridge for about half an hour. There we go. Whilst this is in the fridge chilling, it gives me time to prepare my little cake trays, little muffin tins, whatever you're going to use, and to get my oven preheated. So I'm just going to pop that there. And maybe have a nice coffee at the same time. So there we are, that's going to go in the fridge now for 30 minutes. I'll be back when I've taken the pastry out of the fridge. Okay, so I've got the pastry out of the fridge now. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of flour onto the worktop. Then just start to roll. You can see it's nice and short as well. However thick you actually want your pastry is entirely up to you. I don't like it to be too thick, but then I don't like it sort of paper thin either. You know, I really like it to hold its shape and also to taste the pastry. Okay, and so I've already prepared, I've already greased up my little cake tin. And I'm going to do a bit of a combination here. So I'm going to start with using this cookie cutter. What you really want to do is to just go over the size of the little cake tin. Let's bring it down a bit for you, there you go. And you just want it to be slightly bigger than the circumference of the little cake tin.
Here we go. All right.
And then as you see, if you just have it just slightly bigger than the size of your tin, of your little cake tin there, the little dish, then you know you've got enough pastry to go up the sides without having to try to sort of like force it up.
Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You and me.
Okay, now that's that bit done. So just gather up the rest of my pastry, and then this I'm going to re-roll for the tops.
Outside, we can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that?
This is the mincemeat that I'm using. It's the Tesco's one, and it's Tesco's Finest Ruby Pork mincemeat. So let's load these up. Now obviously you need to gauge them a bit because you don't want it all to spill out, but you want to have a nice amount of mincemeat in there. So I tend to go with like a dessert spoon.
And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with
milk in this cup. I'm just going to do the edges.
We'll be chilling and having a good time.
So I'm going to do a little combination of what I'm putting on the top. So this one's going to have a little Christmas tree. I'll do a star.
Here we go. All right. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. Come on. We're gonna dance. Have a good time. Dance. All night long. We're gonna dance.
So there we are, look, they're all done. So I'm just going to give them all a little brush of milk.
Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be.
See you in 10. So here we are, and I actually went to about 14 minutes in the end, but they're all done. So now I'm just going to take them out and pop them onto the cooling mat. And then once they're fresh out of the oven, I like to give them a nice dusting of icing sugar.
Hold up, I am on my way.
Just so it looks like snow's literally just landed on my mince pies. The only thing left to do now is to eat a couple. So I'm going to put a star and a Christmas tree on my plate. And for Chris, I'm going to give him my heart and I'll give him a star as well. Delicious. Just need to go and eat it all up now. I hope you've enjoyed watching me make this particular type of pastry. As I say, by using the orange juice you don't need to add, well, if you do, you just need to add a tiny little bit of water. Generally you don't really need to, and it just gives it a really lovely sort of Christmassy but very short but sweet flavour to the pastry. It's absolutely delicious. If you have enjoyed it, please give me a nice big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and press the notification bell and you'll know when I do my next upload, especially if you want to see some more cookery. Anyway, my cuppa's calling me and so are the mince pies. Catch you in the next one. Stay safe, my lovely.